Hello, and welcome to my UFO 50 tier list. I've spent the past 3-4 months getting every achievement in this game by Mossmouth, and if you don't know what this game is, it is 50 complete games put into one super mega compilation. Think Action 52, but if every game, or almost every game, was freaking fantastic. To beat a game within this collection is to gold it. But to truly beat it, you have extra conditions that are given to you. And that, once you achieve that, it is called cherrying it. You get like a nice cherry cartridge, and it's the cherry on top. I also like to put up an edited playthrough of my journey of getting every cherry, but I'm putting this out first because, and I kind of hate to say this, these lists generally do better on YouTube than outright gameplay. But I'm hoping enough people like, comment, and watch this video to justify me risking angering the mighty YouTube algorithm gods. Please have mercy on me. Please don't destroy my channel for not having a Mario Maker video on it. So if you want to see me uploading the playthrough of UFO 50, there's 3 things you could do. You can like it, you can leave a comment saying you want to see the playthrough, and most importantly, leave it running in the other room while you go to work or you make dinner or whatever, because it's kind of a long video. Also, something new to this channel, we have memberships now. We have no members yet, but this video was available a week early for members and Patreon members. There's a thank you to all the Patreon members at the end of the video, but as we get our first YouTube members, maybe, potentially, hopefully, I will be shouting them out as well as patrons at the start of the video going forward from here on out. So in future videos, you will see the thank you at the start of the video. Before we get into this, the edits are light. Into the stream where we played through this, I tried to show gameplay from each game as I broke down what I liked and didn't like, and what it was like golding it versus getting the cherry, and giving that its own ranking. So I cut out some of the long pauses and some of the extra side conversations that were happening at twitch.tv/TanukiDan. But I really did enjoy the insanity that was going on during this, and this was such an awesome moment for me to 100% the game, as well as talk about what I love in this game. So I left most of it untouched. So that's enough ranting from me. I hope you enjoy the video. Almost 260 hours. We needed to play 7 more minutes. All right. Time for the tier list, y'all. All right, so we're gonna take our sweet time with this. Let me see. Going in order here, so we're gonna look at each game as we go through it. So Barbuda, the first game, no music, super slow, but I gotta say, I mean, look at how this game starts you out. You walk to the right, immediately get trolled. I mean, normally I would say that's like S tier alone, right? Just for that. But I will say overall, this game is a solid D for me. Solving this puzzle was the coolest thing in the world. Like, this is one of the coolest things I've ever solved in a puzzle, is getting to this room and solving the puzzle for Barbuda. So Barbuda, let's pull up the list. As much as I love Barbuda, I'm putting that in C. And I would say, honestly, if we were going to the C for gold, and I'm going to say C for cherry as well. I was going to make up 2 lists here, but that'd be too convoluted. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say the cherry ranking versus the gold ranking. So we're putting the golds here. It is a C for beating it. Completing it is exactly the same. Like, I almost want to say actually beating it after getting the cherry for it might be B. It's close, because once you know how to beat Barbuda, Once you know how to beat Barbuda, it's super fun racing through it. Only give it a C in the tier list. That's a C. Bug Hunter. Holy crap, what an amazing game this is. We got all the cherries, baby. This game is so fun and so fantastic. And I love all like the strategy for it. Moving around. Originally, I felt like this was too hard to get the cherry for. But once I learned how to like move around, pushing to do damage, I was able to get the cherry condition multiple times for this. So I feel like for Bug Hunter, this is a solid like A for both beating and for cherrying. This game is so addictive and fun. It would be S tier, I think, if it had like a little bit of music to it. But I also know that this game is supposed to be kind of representative of the early like 80s gaming, even though it's like HD, right? The moving around and killing stuff in it, fantastic. Ninpek. The Mr. Goemon tribute. I mean, you start the game off. I mean, look at this. You start the game off, and it's an octopus steals your sandwich, and then you get really solid, simple but amazing platforming. And this is another game like so many games that are worth beating. Generally, the cherry is going to be like the same rank for it, right? Which is why I'm not doing the 2-tier list like I thought I would. But I will say it's still a B. It's solid B all the way through. Good stuff. Gold, B. Cherry, B. You know, it's good, it's simple, and it's fun two-player. It's a really fun two-player game as well. That's a really good stuff right there. Ooh, Paint Chase, though. Paint Chase. This game, I loved Paint Chase. Yeah, we played multiplayer trip. I loved Paint Chase. This game is so satisfying and fun to play, but the cherry for it, I don't know if it was worth the struggle for. This is like the first difference here. I feel like Paint Chase is an A tier game, but getting the cherry for it might just be like, it almost feels lucky at times. I love Paint Chase so much. I kind of want to put it in A, but at the same time, I do think that it's a B. And I would say the cherry is score. The cherry feeling so lucky to me after playing it numerous times. I didn't feel like I played better when I got the cherry. I just got lucky on some of the rounds with the RNG movement of the cars and had more paint covered. So getting the cherry for this, I'd probably say is a C, but I definitely think B is solid. This has been my entire life for 3 months. Magic Garden, I don't even need to say anything about Magic Garden. Magic Garden is masterful. Pure masterful. Like, this is like one of the greatest like puzzle games ever made. You collect the slimes, you do a little dance. You're a lady dating a witch. You pick up nipples, little rubber nipples. You got, look, my cat Peach is literally in the game. Look, Peach is in the game. S tier. We got our first S tier, easy. Hands down. Snake and Pac-Man combined into a masterful game. Masterful game. SS. Getting the cherry for that game is just score. Fantastic. Perfect. That's just as it should be. That is perfect. Magic Garden, just masterful. Mortal 1. Holy crap. This game is so freaking cool. The fact that like your lives that you save, you like build your own, like, this is like Lemmings and like a platformer combined. in such a cool way. You can dash forward. You can blow up if you hold A. You can turn to a stone, and all that helps you to progress forward. Hot Jam 2, cool final boss. I mean, even the cherry condition being having a certain number of lives when you beat the game. S tier. Could it be anything but S tier? Amazing bop, fantastic gameplay loop. It's puzzling, S tier, easy. Cherry S tier, easy, done. No problem, fantastic game. Cannot speak enough praise about Mortal 1. So good, so good. Velgress, I absolutely fell in love with this game. This is another game, fantastic soundtrack. When I first played this game, I actually like the movement of like the bottom of the screen kind of tripped me out. Like it kind of, the fact that the screen just constantly kind of moved perfectly with you is pretty wild. And this is S tier. I promise not every single game is going to be S tier, but a lot of them are. That's how good UFO 50 is, that a lot of these games, and like you said, you hate this game for like an hour. I think it was one of your favorites. So many UFO 50 games do that to me, and I can't wait to talk about those in a minute. Velgress, easy S tier. The cherry is like getting like the keys as you play through. Oh man, so freaking good. Just go ahead and delete the D and F rows. No, we haven't gotten to warp tanks yet. Planet Zoldath. Planet Zoldath. This game I absolutely hated for like the first 30 minutes of playing. This is a weird one. It's slow, it's confusing. You have to go around and find objects. It's kind of like roguelike Zelda 1 in a very odd way. You have 20 minutes, you pick up the bombs. Like the bombs gives you access to like blowing up stuff if you fight in the right materials. This game, I think, as much as I do kind of like it, this is gonna be our first D. It has a good jam. I think if it was just a smidge faster, it would probably be B, but it's so slow. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, even though I did end up liking it quite a bit when I finally beat it. And I would say going for the cherry afterwards was a lot more fun than the initial figuring out and playing of the game. Thanks to the 9-pit Totem King, you're wonderful. I wish I liked it more. But the more I think about it, you know, I would say it's probably, honestly, once you know how to play it, once you beat it once, the cherry is more fun. The racing the clock adds pressure that I would say cherrying this game is a C, but just beating it the first time, D. Tactics. This is another game that when I first played this, I wasn't sure how I felt about it because it was so simple starting out. It was so simple starting out, and I wasn't sure. You didn't have many like pieces to actually set up a strategy with. This is a game that I didn't really like too much at first, then fell madly in love with. Tactics is pretty fire. I still don't know if I would put this in like S. But I do think that this is, do I even want to put it in A? As much as I loved Tactics, I think this is going into side by side with like Paint Chase and Ninpeck. Like I did really enjoy Tactics. Like B is still great. B is still awesome. But it took so long for me to kick it in. This tier list is a solid F. I feel like I need a Tactics. I wish the strategy kicked in sooner. It's kind of like the same playing Zoldath. It has a great idea, but it took too long to really like let you know what you needed to do. Devolition! Devolition. It is an F. I did make an F. That's funny. I didn't even notice. Oh my god. Devolition. I love this game so much until it came to cherrying this game. So now for Devolition, I love the strategy of setting up like falling dominoes to blow up stuff, right? Like I absolutely loved this. You set a chain reaction going. Boom. What an amazing concept for a game. Dominoes, it's dominoes with chess pieces in a way. Like, but the dominoes has to hit the chess piece for it to do its proper attack. Like an amazing idea for a game. I love everything about the concept for it. But we have a problem here. The cherry for this game involves getting a score that you never see. That you never see. You never see the score till you beat it. You can't spell Devolition without S. I'll hear nothing of this low-tier devil speak. That alone, give it an A. But the cherry, I would straight up say that would be the first cherry F. I absolutely hate how they set up getting the cherry for this game. I hate that you don't really get to see your score. You don't really know. You just gotta kind of hope that you get it at the end. And you can still get very unlucky and not make it happen. Now, like you can get really good at the game and make it happen pretty consistently. I'm giving it an A. But I would straight up, if this was the cherry list, if this is the cherry list, it would be F. The cherry for this game, fuck the Devolition cherry. I absolutely hate how they set that up. If they just would have shown a score, it might have been getting like a D, but I hate the cherry for this game. I absolutely loathe it. This is the first cherry in a game that I was like, I wish I didn't have that. Like it made me want to regret going for all cherries. That Devolition is the game that made me want to be like, man, do I even really want to go for? I almost stopped going for cherries because of this game. If I didn't already have so many cherries at the point of playing this game and getting the cherry in it, I probably would have just went for all golds. Devolition fucked me up that bad. It struck every nerve in my body when it came to getting the cherry of it. Kit Club. Kit Club. This is a really fun game. Once again, hot jams. I was straight up addicted to this game for a second. This song was like constantly playing in my head. The bubble bobble vibes, the fast movement, the way you get combos. Yeah, Sigmund one shot the cherry for it. And Devolition. I love Kit Club. And this is another game to where like cherrying it really wasn't that big of a deal once you like know how, like you could find secret objects in places to help you get the high score, but it really wasn't necessary. Just learning how to combo and get like the best food items. You essentially want to pick up the ball without it going, like if you let the ball drop, it loses its color, then you won't get the high combo items anymore. So another game where the cherry is just the score, and it really like cherrying and beating the game essentially happened at the same time. A. I almost feel like I almost want to say I would give the cherry a lesser score just because it happened so naturally. I think most people cherry that one naturally without even really thinking. As soon as you're good enough to beat Kit Club, because it's a hard game, as soon as you're good enough to beat Kit Club, you're probably getting the cherry. Avianos! The strategy dinosaur game. Now, a lot of people told me that they couldn't get into this game because it's kind of complicated at first. I felt like personally, like once you get used to like seeds and seeds and bones being resources, USA World is a beast. But yeah, having the seeds and the spells and learning how to use each one of the ancestors that you pray to. It was overwhelming for like a minute or two, and then I was just like, "Oh, this is how the game works." Like we got to produce the seeds, and then we could recruit soldiers. Oh my goodness! And now we're gonna move these soldiers. I'm gonna move them all. We're gonna go over here. We gotta conquer those towers. As soon as I made my first movement, I knew I was in love. I knew I was in love. And we finally have enough games on the board. Not only are we ranking by letters, we're ordering them by like my favorite game. Avianos is currently #1 of my favorite game for UFO 50. Out of all we've done so far, my favorite games in order: Avianos, Magical Garden, Mortal, and Velgress. Wow. This game, just magical. I love the strategy. I want to play this game multiplayer. If people want to play multiplayer with me in this game, just hit me up in Discord and we'll do the connect thing and we will do strategy. Like there's even the, oh man, I would love to play this multiplayer. So it's just, oh, so good. Mooncat. Is there anyone in chat that dislikes Mooncat? I need to know. The controls for this game are insane. Look, to go right, I push the A button. To go left, I use anything on the D-pad. If I want to jump, I need to hit both. We're a little walking, little wobbling nugget. Thanks for the GGs. All right, we need to ban everyone that doesn't like Mooncat. This is like the weirdest controls ever for a game. Look at how weird and abstract and confusing this game is. The movement's chaotic. Two-button platformer. Listen to this music. It gets better as you figure out, but you really, it's okay, honestly, if you don't like Mooncat. You have fun with D&D and D&D. Mooncat is life. If someone makes Kaizo Mooncat, I would be absolutely happy. I want Kaizo Mooncat. If someone makes Kaizo Mooncat, I'm playing it. I'm playing every fan level, every fan mod of Mooncat, I'm playing. If someone makes it, I'm in. Mooncat Kaizo, I'm there. Give it to me. A. You know what? Oh, yep. I actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm top of A rank. #1 in A rank. Mooncat. I love it. I adore everything about Mooncat. The music, the movement, the gameplay, even getting the cherry in it. So good. So happy. When I got the cherry for this game, I just had an enormous sense of well-being that few games ever give me. I love Mooncat. I love Mooncat. I love Mooncat so much. Bushido Ball. Hot Jams. It's kind of like Windjammers, I guess. Even though I got the cherry in this, I don't care about Bushido Ball. I don't care too much about it. It's fun playing it multiplayer. I'm giving it a D. The cherry is like, what was even? I don't even remember. Like, this is the game that I don't even remember. Best time. I don't even remember what I guess, win every game or something without continues. I think pre-nerf? Bushido Ball needed music, like in the battles and stuff. Like you get the little jams in between. Bushido Ball, I don't know. I hate to do this to you, Bushido Ball. I feel like I'm doing you dirty. I know some people love Bushido Ball. You're going in the D list, bro. You're going right here in the D's. I'm putting Zoldath in front of you, dude. Bushido Ball, you let me down. You were kind of boring. It was fun playing that with Trip. Block Koala. The Sokoban puzzle game. This is one of my favorite puzzle games I've ever played in my life. Like, this is a magical little game. I would say I wish it didn't have the same music in every level, and getting sick of the music. I actually turned it off at one point and started playing the Baba Is You soundtrack, and that was so much better than that same song. Like, they could have, considering the game soundtrack, like the UFO 50 has like over 300 tracks in it overall. They really should have borrowed some music from something else for like in the puzzles. Like every like 10 levels, you should have gotten like a new song. For that alone, I can't put that in S tier. Carrying it was just playing more. I'm putting it in A. Definitely above Hit Club, Demolition, Combat, squishing bugs. But behind Mooncat. Still behind Mooncat. But I'll put it in my A's. It's gotta go in the A's. The cherry for it. Camouflage. You know what I really wish? I wish Block Koala was like 10 levels shorter. And then Camouflage was like a couple levels longer, because my goodness, what a masterpiece that Camouflage is. This actually, man, I mean, even though this also only has one song, it doesn't overstay its welcome like Koala does. This is so much shorter of a game. You walk around, you absorb the ground, and that lets you like absorb different areas, right? Or come over here, get the sand, and then all of a sudden I can walk in front of this thing. This is a game that I loved through and through. I wish there was more. I did not stop playing this game until we got the cherry. This is an S tier. I'm putting it right behind Magical Garden, because Magical Garden is just, wow. Magical Garden was the first game where I was like, wow, UFO 50. If there's any more games even as close to as good as this one, this is my game of the year. And I mean, we got close. We got so many S tiers already, and we still got so many more games to go through. Man. Yo, Mommy-O! With the gift sub from Cubs Mama. Cubs Mama is so wonderful. Campanella.
Thanks.
This game was super fun.
16 for my sub gift.
But as much as like Campanella, so you have to go. I don't even remember where it's been so long. It's been months since I played Campanella. Is it up around here? I don't remember where the coffee is. There it is. I'm ready for snow, Mommy-O. Campanella is super fun when you're just playing through and beating levels. But I do not like this old school, like, search every square, make the coffee show up, you know, try to remember every single floor, because the cherry is having enough lives and finding like all the coffees. And I hated, I don't want to say hated, I would say cherrying this game would be a C. But actually played through this game, solid B. I liked it more than a tactics, less than paint chase and ninpeck. It's just the coffeeing it definitely is a C. I was not the biggest fan of coffeeing it. Getting the cherry for it, but coffeeing it. I'm thinking about the fan mod coming out soon. Good game. Not great. Golfaria. I am very conflicted about this game because this game starts very, very rough. When you start this game, you don't have very many strokes. You don't have any additional powers. It's kind of hard navigating everywhere. The further you get in this game, the more fun. Oh, I have the screen blocks. Let's start this again. Golfaria. I am conflicted about this game because when you start, you have essentially nothing. You got like a very limited amount of strokes. Navigating the overworld is hard. The chariot, you have to find everything in the map. And there's lots of secrets everywhere. This is like Link's Awakening, but with a golf ball. You have a whole little overworld to explore. It's Zelda meets golf. And it's such a cool concept. But you start too weak, I think, in my opinion. I really think that hurts because the first half of playing this game, I wasn't really having fun, but I thought the concept was great. And I still think it's great. I just think you start too weak. It's too hard. Like, I would have already been about to die if this wasn't a completed save file. It should funnel you into the first upgrade is what I think. I think you should have had more strokes and a less open world path to the first upgrade you need. Because when I was doing a playthrough of this game, I found the very first upgrade almost last. Like I was like 60% of collection in the game before I got the first essential upgrade just because I didn't know where to go. And that really did suck a lot of the fun out of it for me. When I was looking for the last objects to 100% it for the cherry for this, that was the most fun I had playing this game. And that's a shame. It's a shame that the cherry would be like an A rank. But this game itself, bad boy, you're going behind Barbuda, my friend. And that's Barbuda. Barbuda is a slow game with no music that doesn't tell you anything as you play it. So really, Golfaria kind of makes sense being next to Barbuda, right? Big Bell Race. I cherried this on my first goal. This art was like the best part of this game, to be honest. This is this was the most nothing game of the pack. Wake that freeloading kitty up. I cherried it my first go. I don't care about this game at all. You know what? So people were joking there wasn't going to be an F. Bell Race. I don't care about this game at all. I do not care about the Bell Race at all. The Big Bell Race can suck it. If there is one game that could have been removed from the pack, I would not miss Big Bell Race at all. It doesn't need to be there. That Big Bell Race, F tier. Get off my list. Can we just remove it? Can't remove it. I guess the F list you say. I tried to pretend it didn't exist. Bell Race should have been a secret inside Campanella Two. I agree. It should have been. That would have been cooler. But we'll have to talk about Campanella Two a little bit more later. Warp Tank. Warp Tank is a fantastic game with such a great concept. Like, even when you're exploring the world, you're traversing it. Like, this is such a cool little action puzzle game. I loved Warp Tank for the gold. So to get the cherry for this game, after you beat the game, you get to a certain point in a level and you'll find a flower. I don't want to even look for the cherry. Like, you have to find a little flower on the ground, and lets you know where a cup of coffee is going to be, kind of like Campanella. You have to find the secret cup of coffee to proceed. And I absolutely loathe that type of exploration of just looking for every little spot, warping and bouncing. So we got a flower here, right? So that means somewhere on this screen is where I need to go to find the cup of coffee. Somewhere around here. Can you already tell how much fun I am not having? I've already found this once, and I was gonna try to find it again as an example. I fucking hate this gameplay. Doing this, I hate this. I love the fun, and the flowers only appear after you beat the game. Is it here? There we go. There's the coffee, and I died, so I'm gonna have to refine that again. That would make the coffee spawn somewhere, and then you gotta warp the tank to find it. I hate it. So I would literally like Warp Tank is an A game. I put it above Kit Club, actually. Put it above Kit Club. But cherrying it, I would say D. I did not enjoy coffeeing Warp Tank at all. It's just not fun for me. I almost want to give it an F for cherrying. But the gold, A. Waldorf's Journey. When I first beat this game, somehow the first time I almost beat this game, I didn't realize you could flap. This game is it's got a mood that makes me think kind of like Celeste. You're flying around, you got a little flap, you got a little checkpoint, you get items that helped you through the journey. You get fish to restore energy. The shells are like currency. So if you need more flapping. So this is like, imagine getting over it or Jump King, but fun, because Jump King fucking sucks. I hate Jump King. I want to love it, but I can't. Because I love Bennett Foddy's like getting over it. Up. All right, I made it here. Made it to the shop. We got the final cherry. I love this game. This game is a wonderful little game that kind of lets you know the meta narrative. Now, I still wouldn't give this like an S rank or an A rank, but this is a very, very solid B rank for me. I would put it above. Honestly, I think this is the king of the B ranks. This is the king of the B ranks. I really love Waldorf Journey, but also it's super short. It is one of the shortest games. I think it is shorter than Ninpeck. Baby's First Jump King is a great way to describe Waldorf. Like that's, and I love the character Waldorf. Porgy. All right. Porgy is a charming, moody joy that has some flaws that absolutely devastated me. Like I love Porgy, but it kind of has the same problem that like Golf Aria has. Let's get some of the music going for here. I love the way it feels, the gameplay. But when you get all these special items, you only get to carry 4 at a time. And I kind of wish it didn't do that. I wish it gave you more permanent upgrades. I hate the backtracking to swap out upgrades so you can proceed forward or find more items. And the cherry for this is 100%. But as you can hear, the moody atmosphere, it's soothing. I love the gameplay. More slots, more bases. There should have been underground bases. This has some weird design choices that make it to where it's like it fits the fiction, I guess. It fits it like I get the world that they're building here. Like the waters are under attack for pollution and whatnot, and there's not as many humans around. We're exploring what's happening to make everything evil in the sea, trying to navigate, and like the bosses that show up early on in this, which I won't be able to showcase because they're dead in my save, are really tough. And they just kind of kill you immediately when you first like handle it. Porgy is a game that if they revisited this concept and gave it its own game, like a Porgy 2, yeah, map wouldn't have been bad either. So everything in UFO 50, I probably should have said this at the start, but everything in UFO 50 is done with like 2 buttons. You got your movement, and then you got A and B, and that's how you do everything. And this starts how you access like the settings. You can see the game controls, but look, there you go. Your buttons are A or X or hold A to drop an item. I almost wonder if they should have gone like Genesis route, like 3 buttons instead. So your oxygen on the left depletes so fast too. Like when you first get started, you have almost no oxygen, and even like it sucks. You die, you go back to the start, or you find an object and you have to return back to the ship. I feel like the Porgy concept, it needed some tweaks. There's gonna be someone out there that this is like their favorite game. I get it. Porgy, you're going in the D list, my friend. Above Zoldath. The cherry is getting everything 100%. Once again, once you get, it's kind of like Golfaria in a way. Because the more stuff you get, the more fun it is. But I enjoyed Golfaria more than Porgy. They're both kind of backtracky and punishing really early on, and gets way more fun later on. Porgy drops the ball way harder than Golfaria does for me, so I have to give that a D. Even though the music in Porgy, I listen to the Porgy soundtrack just to chill. The music alone almost makes me want to give it a C. But that gameplay just knocks it down. Onion Delivery. This is a game that I've seen people be very divisive on. I've seen people be very divisive on this game. They hate the controls, which I will. They're weird and slippery. You're going around delivering onions to locations. It looks like Grand Theft Auto 1, except like cute, pastel. One of the hottest tracks in the game. I love this game. No joke. I kind of want to stop doing the tier list for a minute and just sit here and play this game, because man, I love me some Onion Chase. This is, I would say the cherry for this one, where you have to make extra deliveries, probably not my favorite thing in the world. I think that move on over there, Koala. We got a new onion delivery guy in town. It's no Mooncat, but I love me some onion delivery. I love me some onion delivery. I gotta pull it up. I messed up here. Right here. Right past the koala. Block Koala. I had to get this right here, right before Mooncat. Caramel. I mean, I'm a sucker for shmups. I think when I first played this game, the biggest sin for me is not knowing I could touch the walls. Like, but that was just like the sin I committed, not that the game. Because like when you play a shooter, you normally think you can't touch the walls. This is a shooter that you like take pictures and it gives you like combos, and that gives you score. I never really looked at the cherry for this one, because like it's like you have to find a UFO throughout it. So like until someone told me what to do, I was really confused on getting the cherry for this one. I would probably say cherry would be like a C. I was so confused. in this, but the music is a jam. I love shmups, and this is a really fun shmup. It's very simple. I like the photography mechanic. Let's see if we can get to the first letter. This game was a ton of fun, but it wasn't like my favorite by any means. It just felt like it was something kind of missing something to make it truly great. Yeah, as soon as you know what you're looking for, they're very obvious and easy to find. But my first like playthrough of this, I was like, UFO? I was like looking for like a flying UFO in the background and whatnot. The cherry, I was very confused by the descriptor until someone let me know what I was looking for. Then it was no problem. It's like over here, right? Yeah. Such a weird thing to look for. And I kind of felt like the whole take a picture mechanic was, they're like, we need to think of a cherry for this game. It's like, well, what if like we take a picture of a letter or something? I almost wonder if the take a picture mechanic came after they like had the basic of this game played. So Caramel, you're a good game. I think I'm putting you in B. I think it would have been cooler if it was take a picture of every enemy or take a picture of like every boss. We'll have to look at like the playtime for every game. I think my most played game is going to be Campanella 2 and Grimstone and then the Cyber Owls. Yeah, the credits have it. We beat it. It shows a question mark for anything you didn't take a picture of. A cool cherry would be to get every enemy in your catalog. I guess the best way to make that work is that every time you beat the game and you take a picture of something, it just saves everything you've got up to that point. So you do another playthrough and then you take a picture of the other stuff that you missed. And then the game kind of shows you what you missed and you beat the game. Maybe that will be added into like a fan mod, like the coffee extra dark cherry or coffee carts. Because there's a fan mod being made right now to make everything extra challenging, which I'm going to be doing at some point. Pokemon Snap Schnup. I would love a schmuppy Pokemon Snap. I'd be into that. That would be S tier. That would be S tier. Party House. Everyone already knows, right? Everyone already knows, right? This is a deck builder game. This is a deck builder game where you invite people to a party. The cherry is to get 5 random custom scenario wins in a row. Ooh, this is it. We got the stylist. Oh, this is a weird round. Listen, I want to play this right fucking now. Party House. No doubt. What? Whoever doesn't put this in S rank hasn't played Party House. All right, play it again. You are wrong if Party House is not S tier. Anyone who says Party House is not S tier, play it again. Play it again. You're wrong. Go play more Party House. Play more just magical. Trip and I can't stop talking about it. Even if you don't like deck builders, play Party House. 8.5 lies. S tier. S tier. The cherry, the custom scenarios are the funnest things. And the fact that it gives you like a seed at the top if you want to replay it or be like, man, I just got this messed up seed. Here it is. You want to play it? Mwah! S tier, top of the list. Hotfoot. You kick beanbags at each other. I like this game, but the last boss of this game is so difficult. To get the cherry for this, you have to beat everyone. You have to beat everyone without like, oh, you're fine, Monster Me. You have to beat everyone. Like, just you have to beat everyone. You have to have them under 10 points while you get all the points for it. And this is a fun game. I really got into it for a second, but I really do feel, oh, come on. I do feel that the end boss of this makes the cherry not fun. And it was so rough at first until I learned how to essentially cheese it, that until you know how to cheese it, it's almost not worth doing. Like it's you, I don't know. Like I have not been able to beat it without going for the cheese strat for this. And that's just not the most fun. The music is good. I like the storytelling because like when you go between rounds, certain characters talk to each other and they're actually representative of people that work at the game company that made these games. There's some lore going on in the game. And I enjoy the games that are a little bit more upfront about there being secondary lore in them. But I don't know, Hotfoot. I'm putting you C. I like you more than Aria. I like you more than Barbuda. But not much. Yo, Squirrel and Flannel. I don't know. There was some balancing that needed to be done. I'm not the biggest fan of feeling like I have to be cheap and unfair to win like a sports game. Maybe there's someone that has a completely different opinion on that. But Hotfoot, C for both the gold, and I'm honestly C for gold, D for cherry. Not the biggest fan. I got a controversial take ahead. Divers. The very slow, old school RPG. So I have to say something. I got really lucky and found the flippers early on, which essentially doubles your swim speed, like 2.5 swim speed. And suddenly the game's a lot faster. And I found it really, really early. And I kind of love this whole like system for like attacking this RPG exploration. Your HP, so with Porgy, you can only move so much. Every movement you run out of fuel. Divers, your fuel is like your HP. So as long as you do good in battles, you can keep exploring. This fixes the problem with Porgy. And it's a pretty fun turn-based RPG. I love turn-based RPGs. But a lot of people don't like this game. Yeah, your fuel is also your HP in Porgy, but it runs out just by moving. So like this game fixes that problem. Plus you got that kind of like Earthbound thing where you can try to dodge enemies while you're moving around. Like I'm low on HP. I don't want to die. I want to make it back to the base and, you know, like save and all this other stuff. And once again, I attribute it to finding the flippers early on. I got really lucky and found it almost immediately. It's moody. It's weird. It takes place in the same universe as Barbuda and like Mooncat, like directly somehow. Divers, I'm putting you in my freaking A tier. I love Divers, and I didn't think I was going to. When I first played Divers, I was like, oh no, this is so slow and weird. I'm not sure how I feel about this. When I beat Divers, I was like, I love this game. And then came time to get the cherry. It's just, you just have to find the little secret spots. The cherry is kind of whatever. Probably like a C for the cherry. Probably like a whatever cherry. I love Divers though. Divers, so good. Thank you, Divers. I love you. And also, Divers is what made me look for when you beat the game in Divers. You get the pink fleshy thing everywhere. It started making me look for pink toxicity taking over everything around you. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Are we by cherrying the games? Are we actually spreading? Are we actually spreading evil? Wait a second. Because pink, fleshy, wet, gooey stuff is generally the evil in each game. It's like spreading like a disease. It's like a cancer. And we just went through and we just spread cherry across all these games. Huh. Weird. Rail Heist. Rail Heist. Action turn-based puzzle game. You get your turns. You can charge up shots and shoot. If I shoot, it's gonna scare this cow. So every level is like a custom puzzle with awesome action. My turn's up, the lawman turn. We're trying to steal the money. We got this money over here. We're trying to steal it without accidentally dying. I try to murder myself there. It's super jank. I will say this is the game that had a lot of glitches with, but also I loved this game. Like, this is so much fun. And this character here that we're playing right now, that girl in the blue, she shows up in another game later that I cannot wait to talk about. We've corrupted levels multiple times. There is so much jank in this game. But even with the jank, the awesome jams, the puzzles, I hate to say it, Mooncat, move over. You have been dethroned as #1 of the A rank. Rail Heist is one of the funnest, smartest action puzzlers I've ever played. It's so freaking good. So much fun. God, so good. Definitely recommend, if you haven't given this game a play yet, get it you some Rail Heist. Vanger is one of the craziest shoot 'em ups. No, this is the Metroid one. I was thinking of Star Wasper. Vanger, I have problems with Vanger actually. This is a super amazing Metroid game meets what is that NES game? Not Mech Warrior. You like flip up and down, Robo something, I don't know. This is a Metroid game that combines like, it's the thing VVV, yeah, VVV Metal Storm. VVV Metal Storm meets Metroid. You get like all these different like power-ups as you play through it. I absolutely loved golding this game. I love golding this game. You get your maps, you get all these different abilities that you can swap things around in Vanger. So much fun. But completing this game, getting the cherry for this one. Gold is an easy B for me. I'd actually say this is top of the B's. More Tank meets Metroid. Top of the B's. I hated cherrying this game. I ended up pulling out a map. Like, very few games that I pull out a guide or really get much help for. But this game, I was like, I'm pulling out a fucking map. I'm letting Chad help me. I don't care. Get me through this game. Vanger made me angry. Very angry. Vangry. Vangry. But just beating the game, fantastic. I had a great time beating this game. Top of the B list, easy. Don't recommend sharing it. Unless you're just going for completion's sake like I did. Don't recommend the cherry on this one at all. Still not as bad. It didn't make me as mad as Demolition, but it was close. It was close. Rock on Island. Do you like tower defense? Does anyone here like tower defense? Do we have any tower defense fans in the chat? If you have not played this game, you're doing yourself a disservice, because man, oh man, this is one of my favorite tower defenses ever made. It is so good. It is so simple. You have your little main character walking around building the towers, and then you can upgrade your own weapon too. You of course get your different trees, skill trees that you go up. We're gonna go ahead. We'll make you a spear. You do more, since we got like the tough little dinos, you'll learn them as you play it, but generally spears are really good because it has like some armor piercing. The tutorial stage kind of tells you what to do. I love this game. The fact that you have your own role that you play in taking down the dinos as they come about is super fun. You can go and risk. You got your health in the top left. Currency is chicken, which of course, I love pixel junk monsters. I still say this and Ninja Town are my two favorite tower defense games. And I would say Pixel Junk is probably number 3. I love Pixel Junk. And then like Balloon 6 is like right after that. One of my favorite games in all of UFO 50. Damn, is this really above Magical Garden? Oh. This hurts me to do, but yeah, I think I actually like it more than Magical Garden now that I'm thinking about it. Even though I can go back and play Magical Garden forever, and I probably won't. It'll take years before I really want to replay this game. It'll be a long time before I want to replay this all the way through again. Chairing it is beating everything without taking damage. It's a perfect run in every single level in the game. S rank for both. I need to play Thronefall. S rank for both, easy. I just cannot recommend enough Rock on Island. Cannot recommend it enough. Pin golf. Holy shit. Pin golf. Do you like golf? Do you like side-scrolling action? Do you like brainy, hot alien robots? Do you like slam dunking your ball like a freaking master of madness, dunking the shit out of a ball into a cup? Then this is the fucking game for you. Pin golf is such a blast. What a wonderful time. That's all there is to say about this. And to get the cherry, just be good. Be good at the game. Be good at the game. That's all. Just be good. And why wouldn't you be good at pin golf? It's so fucking fun. Just play it over and over and over again. No RNG. Look at me playing bad. You know what? I don't even care if I'm playing bad right now. I'm still having fun dunking that ball and causing my own demise. I can't even beat the second stage anymore. But you know what? Worth it. I love this game. You know what? I may suck here, but there's so many opportunities to catch. It doesn't matter that I'm like +3 right now. I can make that up. We can make that up. I'm tempted to try right now. We'll just go bounce it through. Look at us roll down. Pin golf freaking rules, and it's multiplayer. All right, well, I'm not making it up. Is fun allowed though? You better believe it. This is the fun zone. Pin golf, you are going in the S tier, and man, Magical Garden, you need to stop. You need to stop having games better than you, because I feel bad about it. Actually, oh yeah, this is good. This is good. That's how I like it. I like that. Oh, I knocked over my empty drink. That's good. That's good tier listing right there. I feel really good about the tier list so far. Mortal 2. Mortal 2 is such a intense evolution of Mortal 1. You got all these different characters this time, and they kind of fulfill the same roles that Mortal 1 had. The warrior can turn into the stone like it did in the first one. Then you have the bomber that explodes. Gunner, of course, is just a sniper, but you have limited ammo that you can see in the top left. So you take the gunner to a place that's like a boss or whatever, turn to ammo, and then you have infinite ammo fighting that boss. But this game is really about the scout with the double jump and the ability to make portals. Plus, they have weapons too. Limited, so you want to refill it. So boom, now I can teleport to where I made it. So the scout really is like pretty much the most useful of all the jobs. You also have the engineer, which is super fun. Goes around and makes, this is an ability that wasn't in Mortal 1. Yeah, the coffee for this would be winning without the scout. That, oh my God, that sounds crazy. Yeah, scout is a checkpoint 1 machine. You got to go through the game and get to the boss and fight the boss, explore the world. Like, this is so much more open. You still have like the limited amount of lives. You have 99 lives. But it really does feel like an evolution of Mortal 1. Fantastic adventure game. I will say, I didn't enjoy it as much as Mortal 1, even though I do think that it is a true proper evolution of the Mortal series. Like, if you play through Mortal 1, Mortal 2 makes more sense. I randomly played Mortal 2 first before Mortal 1, and I was like, what am I even doing? Because when I first played Mortal 2, I didn't know Mortal 1 was in UFO 50. I was just kind of like randomly playing things. And I played through Mortal 1, then played Mortal 2, and I was like, oh, this makes so much more sense. It feels like an evolution of the Lemmings, only way more fun, but it's also really hard to make a game more fun than Lemmings. So even though I think it is a true successor in a way that many successors fail to evolve a game series, it's just barely not as fun as Mortal 1. Though I still think this is a solid, fantastic game. Mooncat, you get knocked down another peg. We've got number 2 of the A rank. We got number 2 of the A rank here. Fist Hell, the beat 'em up, the super difficult, crazy, silly beat 'em up that I absolutely love. I actually played this multiplayer with my wife. Now I got the cherry on my own. The cherry for this is essentially no game overs, the perfect run. That was a little bit much, but this is you could pick up items, you got combos, you got charge attacks, you could pick people up and like body slam them. You know, there's like and each character plays a little bit different than the other. I like this dude's charge punch because you can just walk up to someone very slowly and boom, instant kill. Super fun. You get the dog to help you out, which is always awesome. It's so cool when you get a little buddy to help you. Short and sweet, brutal difficulty. I love this game. I love the enemy variety. I love learning how to survive. The cherry is ridiculous. The cherry is a B. But when it comes down to Fist Hell, this is an amazing game that I am putting at the top of the. I'm not the biggest fan of beat 'em ups. I loved Fist Hell. It just hit all the right keynotes for me. Top of the A list. Dang, we got a lot of A's in this list. So good. So good. Overbold. All right. Overbold is like Smash TV with the graphic style of like, we got the Val Brace girl in it. Overbold. You start off in like a Smash TV room. You got your firing range. You kind of look like a character from Zombie Ate My Neighbors. All right. So you beat the enemies. Oh, you can't see. Sorry. Well, you'll see it here. It looks like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. You get a little arena like Smash TV. And after you win the first round, whatever you win, like, oh, something on sale, stock through more bombs, sweet. So you could raise the prize by adding more enemies to the fight. That's like the main gimmick of this game. So for no reason, let's add a bunch of enemies. I'm probably gonna die. You go through and you shoot, and it's arena, and you try to win. That's it. This is essentially the whole game. And honestly, I do really enjoy it. It's a ton of fun, but after beating it once, there is really no reason to return. And I didn't get the cherry on it immediately. You have to have a certain amount of cash after like 3,500 or something like that. You have to have a certain amount of cash to get the cherry for it. And the problem with this game is that I just kind of feel like this needed to be more than just one arena with maxing out your greed to get it. But like, this is a really good game. I had a ton of fun with it. I just wish it had more. I just wish it was a little bit more. I had so much fun with it, but as soon as I was done with it, I don't care to replay it. And that's why it goes into the tier list. I'm putting it above Campanella, but behind Caramel, because Caramel is still kind of fun to replay. I want to take pictures of stuff. I want to go through and see how many, I want to beat the game and see how many names I can get in the credits. Because once again, everything you take a picture of gets their name listed at the end credits when you beat the game. I like trying to get higher, you like trying to get higher max scores, and you could definitely do that in this game. But for me personally, this is a one and done for me. And the cherry is essentially the same as the gold. Like, it's a B. It's a B for me. And like, I can see myself if the fan mod comes out, so I get even more score, I will get that. I will try to get that score when it's like an achievement. I'm a very pro achievement in games kind of person, because I want to get those achievements because it provides additional content for me. I wouldn't think to do it this way. I wouldn't on my own be like, oh, let's beat the game using 0 upgrades and max gamble or whatever. You know, like I wouldn't think to do that on my own. I have Mario Party Jamboree and it rules, and I need to play more of it as soon as possible. Let's see here. Campanella 2. This was the second to last cherry that I got. This is like Blaster Master inverted. Your main world is kind of like, I don't know, like it's weird. It's weird. The way you fly around is kind of like Big Bell Race, but I like it here because it's not like a stupid race. This, you got to get out enough of the little stars as you see in the top corner here to open up the last door to move to the next area. And then when you're in these areas, it's like little Metroid sections or little Blaster Master sections, instead of it being like the overworld in the main thing. Like it's like, I don't know how to really describe this game. It's a true rogue. It's a true rogue. And the music is fantastic. I love the power-up system. Getting the cherry for this was brutal, but I have no regrets about doing it. Every second of this game, even when it was completely destroying me, was some of the most fun I've ever had in gaming. Like, this is no joke. No joke. One of the funnest games, if you can handle the rage, because it is frustrating. Like, once again, I'm about to die already. I have no health. I have no fuel. The stars give you a little bit of health, but I didn't find any of the doors, which you really want to find when it comes down to like maximizing getting upgrades to your character or getting money. Got more fuel here, so it feels good. Popping 50 cherries. Oh god, it's true, I am. Campanella 2, amazing soundtrack, amazing gameplay. It kind of feels like, of all the games in this, if we were to make a comparison, it feels like Spelunky in a way, even though it doesn't feel like Spelunky. Campanella 2, you dethroned Party House. Party House, one of my favorite games ever made. Campanella 2, you did it. Campanella 2, you are a masterpiece of a game. Absolute masterpiece. But thank you for existing, Campanella 2. That cherry, S. Worth every struggle. Wow, love Campanella 2. Wow. Hyper Contender. This game is kind of like, it almost feels like Smash Brothers in a way. Sonic. If Sonic went Smash Brothers first, if Nintendo didn't do Smash and instead it was Sonic, I feel like this is what it would end up being. Because instead of knocking characters out, you hit a character and you knock their rings out of them. And then you gotta go collect 5 rings. You hit them, you knock their rings out, and it's really fun. It is fun, kind of like Smash is, it's just different. It makes me think, once again, this is Smash if Sega and Sonic were like the main characters. This is the Genesis version of Smash Bros. I think what the cherry for this was like what? Just like beating it with like enough characters or whatever. Love the game, but also I don't know, like I think it's more fun playing this game with friends than it is playing against the computer. And it's better than Hotfoot, but I'm also fine with never playing it again. You know, that's kind of how I feel about this game here. It's really fun. It's worth the playthrough. It's worth cherrying. I'm cool with never playing it again. It's the opposite of Big Bell Race, where I'm like Big Bell Race, I'm fine never playing that again, but I didn't even enjoy it. It was just nothing. It was nothing. I feel like Hyper Contender for me was like one of those limited edition like Pop-Tarts where it's like, hey, this is pretty good. I'm gonna go get another box of blueberry. I'm gonna go get another box of strawberry. Well, thank you for letting me try that cream cheese pumpkin strudel. Actually, if that was a Pop-Tart, hell yeah, I'm down. Thank you for letting me try that weird limited edition flavor. I'm cool if I never try it again. That's how I kind of feel about Hyper Contender. I'm glad Rainbow Sprinkles. And you know, like it makes me wish that online was somehow built into this package. Val Brace. Val Brace. How do you describe a legend? How do you describe something so legendary? One of the coolest like dungeon explorer games I've ever played. Like this makes me want to play more retro games of this caliber. Like you got the spell casting where you actually have to like use directions to put in your spells. You move to get your magic back. Oh man, I have to, Kelly, I have to. The music is always good. My only complaint about this is that I wish that we had more floors and smaller maps overall, because when you're exploring, I spent almost an hour in one floor killing monsters and exploring and trying to get better items and whatnot, died and then had to completely do it again. And I feel like that's a little bit much. I love the music. I love the battles. I love the different weapons. I love how it's very retro in a way that like the weapons don't tell you exactly what they do, but they have enough. Each item has enough of an effect that you can figure it out as you use it. So like each weapon has like an attack speed. Each enemy has specific attack patterns that they do. Val Brace is an amazing dungeon explorer action RPG that is absolutely legendary. Absolutely legendary, and I can see how easily it could be a lot of people's favorite game. It feels weird putting it behind Pin Golf though, but it's actually, I'm putting it behind Magical Garden as well. It's S tier. It is S tier, and it's weird that it's on the low end of S tier because this game is absolutely legendary. I'm probably gonna replay that every few years. I'm just on my own, just like when I'm like, you know what, I want to replay Val Brace. Val Brace is good. It is masterful. There are some things I have my critiques about it. I wish each dungeon was a little bit smaller so you could save and continue on later. But fantastic game. Fantastic game. S rank, easy. Easy S rank. Super easy. Now we got Rakshasa. I'm probably saying Rakshasa. I still don't know how to say it. I still don't know how to properly say it. Love the mood of this game. I love the art style of this game. I think the closest thing I can compare it to would probably be Ghosts and Goblins in a way, but also not. You got your like awesome little upgrades. It's got like some contra, like we got the heat-seeking magic. We don't even really get the music in this game until after Rock Shasa. Oh, when you die, you have to like re-get like pieces of your soul to come back and get another shot. And every time you die, you see there's like a skull under the score. Each time you die, you get a skull, and it becomes that much harder to revive again. If you're really good, it doesn't matter. You can just keep. You can die as much as you want, and it becomes harder. But you can keep reviving as long as you can get all your little soul pieces here. So boom, we're back. Even though I'm playing terrible right now, it doesn't matter. I was able to find my soul shards and come back to life. That is such a fun and cool concept. And the platforming's difficult. Once again, the closest thing I could really think to compare it to would be like Super Ghouls and Ghosts or something like that. Combat is ridiculously fun. One of my favorite 2D platformers. It's short though. It's short, but it's solid. Now we get this awesome moody music here. And of course you start getting to where there is an item, a power up you get. It's like a little buddy that helps you find where secret items are. I kind of want to get to, like, once again, the fact that I'm just still playing right now, that's how good this game is. If I wasn't actively doing a tier list, I would probably just do a playthrough of this game. You get this little egg, and this little egg buddy helps you find where secret items are. That makes it to where on later playthroughs, if you just remember, it has a little exclamation point. So, might as well beat it. You got this far. It was tempting. So we go up here and we just walk across it with our weapon charging. And you find little secrets. So like even the little hidden stuff, the game does a great job of conveying what you need to do to find those secrets, what you need to do to get upgrades, the death soul thing, the moods, the music. Rock Shasa is just great gaming. It is action arcade score goodness like you wouldn't believe. It gives me hardcore, amazing Sega Genesis arcade style gameplay that I cannot recommend enough. I'm sorry, Rock on Island, move on over. We got a new number 4. New number 4, just easy S, just so freaking amazing. Oh man. Star Wasper is probably one of the most brutal shooting games, one of the most brutal shmups I have ever played ever. It is so fast. It took literally like 8 hours of just my eyes getting used to the movement to even begin doing well in this game. Like, holy, look at this. It's hard to look at almost. Like, it's absolutely insane. You're going through as you play and getting multipliers by spelling out eggs or variation of words with these 3 letters. You get 3 G's, you get a different power up. You get 3 E's, you get a different power up. Now I got a little missile shooting dude. So we're gonna get 3 E's here. Oh, I died. Well, there we go. My eyes are already untrained on this game. Star Wasper is a game that will actively try to hurt your feelings. Don't gag. If you do gag, you lose your score multiplier. Now I have a bomb I can launch off. Boom, explosion. Now I can get all the G's I want. Now we need to get eggs. We can even spell out G. What does G give us? Let's find out. I got a little UFO helping me on the board. So you're actively trying to spell egg as much as possible to get the cherry in this, to get enough score to get it. To get the cherry is score based, so you're gonna be going for multipliers by a ton. It's hard to look at. It is insane. There is no reading chat while I'm playing this game. It's just, I'm sorry, chat. I can't help you. My favorite ship is honestly the one on the far left. Because he gives you like shields. He's really good about shielding you up. Yo, Karma Dragoness, thank you. Made your PC lag to try to make this easier. It wasn't easier. I love this dude because of the way they you get these little secondary options and shields. This game has an insane block on stage 3 to where it's like until you get a perfect run up to stage 3, it is almost impossible to proceed. And normally I would say that's a detriment. It was mind destroying getting through it. But then after I got through stage 3, I was able to get through it repeatedly. And it wasn't long after that I was able to dominate the game. And on my first time beating it, I got the cherry. My first time beating Star Wasper, I got the cherry. And we got a new number 4, y'all. Star Wasper is one of my favorite shmups of all time. Love Star Wasper. It did my head in. I had kind of like the Tetris effect. Like I would stop playing and then the whole world would start scrolling for a little bit. And I'd have to like wait for a second. I was playing so much Star Wasper that like it was, I was like, I would have to like take eye breaks. Love it. I love Star Wasper. Fantastic game. Fantastic. Grimstone. Grimstone is essentially the love letter to Final Fantasy 1. You start off and you pick 4 characters in a burning building, and depending on who you pick is who your party ends up being. And now this is like a little new game I did just to kind of like example, show someone who hadn't played this before. This is not my cherry save. You go out and you have your RPG, and let's find a little battle real quick, because really it's the combat that made me really fall in love. Peach abandoned me in my time of need. You get into combat. Of course, it's an RPG. The music is absolutely amazing at all times. You pick your attack targets. There is a Grimstone randomizer that I will be playing. Different weapons. Dang, I closed out the Sock Nuki. Someone refund J-Guns. I have no more Sock Nuki for today, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, J-Guns. I'll get you refunded. We do have the Song of Time still, though. The light, it burns. The one time it wasn't sold out. I'm sorry, J-Guns. The music, the story, the way how when you play through the games, there are plot points where depending on who you have in your party, different little events will have, little small things. I loved every second of this game. I actually had moments to where I almost cried because I was not only so happy, but because of the story happening in the game. It is simple. It is just so much fun. I love the spells. I love how different weapons have different like attack patterns. I had the dog as a character, and I got a power. I found an item that gave him big bulgy eyes, and he always had focus, so his meter for hitting the enemy was like higher. I cannot express how much I love Grimstone, and I just, everything happens at the end. The final boss, carrying this game also SS all the way through. This is one of my favorite games ever made. Not just like in UFO 50, ever made. Grimstone, come on out here, window. Come out here, Grimstone. Number one, Grimstone. Will you be dethroned? It's gonna be tough. Number 1, Grimstone. The world map being Texas? I mean, come on, it's hilarious. It's just, holy crap, Grimstone. You have inspired me to do more as a musician, and an artist. You have made me go and play lots of other retro RPGs. I've been playing Final Fantasy 1. Oh man, Grimstone is such a love letter to retro RPGs, with none of the complaints that I have with a lot of retro RPGs. Yeah, killing the 4 horsemen and taking their horses as your overworld transportation. Oh my god, Grimstone, you beast, you wonderful game. Get this trash off my screen. What Why are you showing me freaking combat ants? We haven't gotten to you yet. Get out of here. Get this trash out of here. Lords of Desonia. Lords of Desonia is a strategy turn-based disc game. I was really confused about this when I first played this because there wasn't too much variety in units, which of course it makes sense because it's the start of the game. You could just buy a bunch of like little basic units and then you just move forward. I thought the whole game was essentially gonna look like this here. Let's get to at least one round of combat. Battle occurs. Turn-based. We get resources and whatnot for hitting those things. Turn-based. I don't know, air hockey? Turn-based RPG air hockey, I guess. Strategy or air hockey. When I first played this, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this game. Like, I thought it was gonna be super duper simple, and this was all there's gonna be. And I didn't think much of it at first. When you get to the later areas, suddenly, oh my God, it opens up. You get archers, you get spellcasters, you get upgrades as you play. I would say this is definitely an out of nowhere. Like we got medicine, we get have more like health and heal more. When I first played this game, I wasn't expecting much. Having cherried this game, man, this game is amazing. Didn't like it much at first. Absolutely loved it in the end, but I will say the cherry sucked for this one. The cherry absolutely sucked for this game because the AI for the cherry cheats. You have to do like random things. You have to do just like this, like, what is the mode called? Let me pull it up. Oh, dang it. You have to do streaks. You have to get 3, and the AI just cheats so bad that you have to figure out how to cheat first. You have to pretty much always knock their units into the water. So when it comes down to this game, S tier, easy S tier. But I'm gonna put it right past mortal. It's the lower end of S tier, but damn. Super fun, computer cheats. I would say going for the streaks is probably like a B or C. It wasn't fun because you have to just get lucky and cheat. So you're going for the dirtiest tactics you possibly can to beat the computer. And that's like fun. It's fun to have to use cheese to win when it isn't necessary. Like, oh, let me just completely, let me back the computer into a corner and cheat. That's fun. You know, it's fun to figuring out an exploit and destroying the computer. Having to use an exploit, however, I don't like. So for the cherry, C or D, but beating this game, S tier. So good. So freaking good. Such a good game. Where's the tier list of tier list? I have to make more tier list. Night Manor. What a spectacular. Actually, one of the many people that made this game ended up showing up in my stream. We got the clock tower reference here. We got like the Freddy versus Jason, or the Jason Voorhees like character. It's like old school point and click adventure games. You use an item on the thing. Door is open, so we're gonna go open the door. We explore. If you make noises, then the enemy comes out and attacks you, and you have to run away. Like there's some sincere good horror moments in this game that blew my mind. Since we flushed the toilet, this is like a newish save, so the dude might not show up yet. I don't even know if we found like the main villain here yet, so we might not find him quickly. But your cursor gets all wiggly when your character is scared. Night Manor is one of the funnest little adventure point and click horror games that I've ever played. It takes away a lot of the problems that I have with the most like horror games like this from the retro console. Basic, it goes so good. I love getting the gold on this. The cherry on this, There's a few puzzles that I think are so vague or so obtuse that it's hard for me to recommend the cherry on this game. But when it comes down to it, Night Manor is it's last place in S tier, but man, must play game. Must play. Fantastic. I loved it. If you like point and click games, if you like horror games, retro inspired, I guess like Deja Vu for NES kind of, except even easier to navigate because once again, UFO 50 does a really good job of simplifying things. Like you just push the B or X button to go from look and touch, interact with. So we go boop. It's really simplified with just a single button click and it gives you so many options. We got the map down here. You see the room you just came out where you see your options of areas to go. But it also does, like, I try to go out here, it says it's jammed. So we know that this later is going to be a shortcut or something that we get access to later. So as we explore, we know other doorways are going to open up later on. So this game does a really good job of conveying where you can go, what you could do, and just really great. Like, definitely deserving of an S rank. I love the art. I love I love the mood. You can't repeat the Easter egg UFO you saw in this. So for anyone who doesn't know me, my Tanuki Dan name isn't because of Mario, even though I love Mario. Mario is, I have a Mario wedding ring. I love Mario. Mario is one of my favorite things in life. But I'm Tanuki Dan because of two games. One's Mystical Ninja and the other is Pocky and Rocky. And Alphazar's hat is a love letter to Pocky and Rocky. And I love this game. It's also a sequel to Magical Garden. You'll even hear some of the music from Magical Garden in this. Listen to this music. And look, like the pastel colors are like extra popping in this. You combine 2 or 3 of the same like effects, like the same cards, and you get like a little upgrade. So I got a little option, but I don't have the best option. You want the best option, and you combine 3 of the same. So you have these 3 different little things, the little power-ups you get as you play through this Pocky and Rocky like world. Of course, you got the little roll, like equivalent of like the little tail in Pocky and Rocky. Boom, we got a full extended life bar here. And each combination of a card until you die, you get to keep. So you get to go through and like power up and just in each level, this isn't like some of the lower games on the list. Each level has its own music. This is a game where sharing it it kind of happened naturally. You know, like finding like the secrets and stuff like that. Like I wanted to play through again. You have to like kind of like look for little secret spots. And I feel like the other games in UFO 50 kind of let you know about it. Like if something looks a little off, you go check it because this is a tribute to older games. And now it's like a common thing in older consoles. It's just, I love it. It's just so good. And the fact that it's 2-player, now it's a game that like, if you get good at it, you could dominate it from beginning to end and not even worry about losing a life, and it just becomes normal. I think that's like the only really thing I can knock it for. I wish I could rank it higher in the list, but it's kind of like right there, baby. Right next to Magical Garden. It's a little bit better. It's not like the top of the S list, but it is one of my favorite games like that ever made. The love letter to Pocky and Rocky. Train Stage best song. I 100% agree. So freaking good. So freaking good. Oh man, we have so many S tiers. UFO 50 is insane. UFO 50 is insane. Grimstone dethroned Campanella 2 for me. I'm gonna be doing randomizers of Grimstone Pilot Quest. All right, now Pilot Quest is a game that I told everyone that you kind of want to play because this is a game that happens in the background while you're playing other games. So this is a really good game to be the first game you play. You got your little cookie clicker like game here, and you get your resources, and you buy your hams with the resources, but it's like we can get little seeds to plant, give them the monies, and now more plants are happening. Oh, I didn't do that overlay. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. All right, take two. The Pilot Quest is a little cookie clicker like game. It happens while you're playing the other games. Everything you're doing in this, you get your little extra meats and whatnot, so you go on an adventure quest. But I have this tree over here that I bought extra seeds from, so these spawn continuously. While I'm playing anything else, I'm getting little seeds that give me resources to buy more hams. It's cookie clicker meets Zelda. There's a meta inside the meta. So this is a game that happens while you play the other games. It just popped up and said there's nothing here. Oh, that's because I pushed a button. My bad. I did oh, you're fine, Rainbow Sprinkles. Don't even worry about it. This jam is just absolute hotness. The more hams you buy, the more time you have to explore the field. So you have a limited amount of time. So you're incentivized to play as much as you can in bursts and then do other things while your resources build up again. So this is the game you play in between other games. This is the ginger in between bites of different sushi types, right? You got your salmon, you got your tuna, but in between each bite, you give yourself a little bit of that ginger as a palate cleanser. And that palate cleanser is Pilot Quest. Super fun to explore, and it actually, each time you have a new save, you have a slightly different environment where things move around. In my first save, this was a dungeon. Here, it's a little guessing game, but I don't have a Zoldath to trade in to play the game, so. But anyway, this is another kind of like Zelda roguelike. Now things only move around so much. Like you'll if you know where all like the little cave entrances is, you'll be able to find. There'll be like some things closed off. A bush will be in a spot somewhere, making it where you have to take an alternate route. But generally, the overall exploration is pretty simple. You can get upgrades in the town. You can buy little houses at the very bottom to get like people making stuff for you. I could turn these into a house and have a silo to store more resources. And it's really awesome at first. Having it go on and do like building up as it does in the background makes it extra fun to play the other games, because in the back of your mind, you know that you're getting extra resources. It makes it extra fun to play all the other games, because you're like, oh man, while I'm playing Overbold and having a great time, I'm about to go back to Pilot Quest and go out and explore, get more resources. And then after I do that, I'm gonna go play Alphazar's Hat, and then I'm gonna go back and play Pilot Quest, and I'm gonna get more ship parts or whatever. And it's super fun, but as soon as you beat the game and like as soon as you get the cherry into it, and the cherry sucks, it's just like this dude who shows up at the very end. You have to kill like 4 times, and he has a bazillion HP, and you can not find him in a timely manner and just get RNG screwed out of getting the cherry, which happened to me multiple times. But after I got the cherry, I just never touched it again. And it kind of kicks in, at least for me, it felt like the substance died out. After cherrying it, it's kind of like, oh, this is really kind of a nothing game. Huh. Yeah, in one go. So Pilot Quest, as much as it was amazing at the start, it kind of became nothing at the end. But like, the joy it brought me was still more joy than anything in the CD and F list brought to me, right? Like, so it's the top of the C list. I'm super glad it's there.
That's a nice booty you got there, matey. I want it.
Even the ending reflects this sentiment. It's kind of a nothing game. Some people love it. Some people can't get enough of it. But me personally, one playthrough and never want to touch it again. But if you've never played UFO 50, start with Pilot Quest and feel that rush of I'm getting resources while I'm playing these other games. It's so nice. It's so cool. Peachy Peach, what are you doing? It is definitely a nice little experience there. And I suggest if you never played UFO 50, if I have sold you on this game, start with Pilot Quest. I honestly don't recommend playing Chronology because these games don't paint the friendliest impression. The first 2 rows of UFO 50 are not friendly. I feel like row 3 is the most friendly of all outside of divers. Yeah, the first row is definitely acquired taste. Last row is pretty freaking... the last 2 rows are the most powerful rows for me. I feel like this row here, the 4th row, is my best row. My favorites are pretty much all in here. But you know what? It's pretty good. Oh yeah, sorry. Still overlay. All right, my bad. This row here is probably my favorite row, but this is close. It's really close. It's hard for me to say. All right. Mini and Max. This is, to me, is concept-wise probably the coolest of all the games in UFO 50. Mini and Max, I want to see more games like this, but with a little bit more complication. Let me kind of explain. So Minnie and Max, you're this girl, and actually Party House is happening in the other room. And Party House, the music is happening over here. This area here, this is also the world map. Because when you, in this game, you shrink down and then you play. And you pick up stuff kind of like Mario 2. And there's like other upgrades. You can get additional powers. You can get like a super jump. You can jump higher. But you can also get the power up to shrink even more, to find even more secret things. Oh, like this. Have I found this before? This is exploration heaven. I don't know if I've ever seen this. This game is filled to the brim of content worth finding, but also you don't have to feel too bad about like missing something, because every time you do miss something like this little cave, if you find like a power up in one, you can find it in another. You know, like, so like if you don't find this one particular thing, you can still complete the game. Little Nemo meets Metroid meets Blaster Master with a Mario 2 kind of like physics engine. It's crazy. The concept of this game is insane. So, all right, so we're gonna go big again. All right, so I want to go to this part of the world map. We're gonna go right here with the pig, and we're gonna shrink down. And then we're by this little pig. We're gonna check on this coin. And this game is absolutely amazing. But I have to explain something here. I kind of wish there was like a tracker for like power-ups or quest or something like that. This is another time when I wish this game was like a 3-button game instead of just a 2. Give us another like little thing for it. It's hard to follow what you need to do next or where to go or where you've already been, because everything you shrink down so many times. Like, it's cool that the map is also like you're playing the map. It's really awesome. Like, I love that concept of the fast travel and this being the map. Like, this is amazing. This is such a cool concept. And you can kind of see like, oh, well, I haven't explored over here. Let me shrink down and go much to the right. Yeah, and the last shrink doesn't do too much aside from the final boss. That's also true. The cherry, getting all the stuff for the cherry I did not enjoy that. And getting all the last few things needed for beating this game, I have ADHD. I have memory issues. So remembering where I need to go exactly, say for I find an ant that tells me to go to this other ant village, and it's not the normal main ant village like here and here. It like having to go elsewhere and then remembering all that, it was just a little bit too much for me. It overwhelmed me, and it overwhelmed me to the point where it kind of stopped being fun. But I still think that this is an amazing game. It's like, you know how Porgy is a D. Even though it had like an amazing premise, an amazing idea behind it, it just didn't execute. Mini and Max is a high A for me because I think that this is an evolution in gaming. This game was hurt by being in UFO 50. I think that it being restricted, this game was such a fantastic, huge idea that it's kind of a shame that they restricted it the way they did for it to be in UFO 50. Now, I'm glad it's in UFO 50. I love Mini and Max, but I think if they gave it just a little bit more quality of life, made things a little bit easier to remember, or had like a list of things, I feel like a full game with that concept, like as you shrink, that shrunken area would have its own map, right? If you get a quest for somewhere, you would have a little map where it would pop up and say, this is where you need to go. And someone else who doesn't have like my issues with like ADHD and memory, this is like Foxy's like favorite game. And within like UFO 50, this is our triple quadruple S plus. Like Foxy was in heaven this whole game. And I think if it had just a little bit more quality of life, the additional maps, or just like pinpoints, hey, you're looking for this, a quest list, and like you need to go here, and then have it like have a little marker and where you need to go, then this would also be like top of the list for me as well. But it didn't. And the cherry was very much more of what I enjoyed the least about this game, and also very lackluster. It's like just whatever. I didn't care for it. So beating the game A, cherrying it probably B, but still an amazing game. Now we have to talk about everyone's favorite game. Mr. Nemuru created this vision for the highly innovative strategy game, Combat Ants. Everyone wanted Combat Ants 2 announced at the last Game Awards. We thought we were going to get it. A hill to die on. This is a lore game. This game has more to do with the lore than actually being like a good game. Everything about this game it's slow. It doesn't work very well. And it's a commentary about the terminal story you get for Miasma Tower. If you don't know what Miasma Tower is yet, we will talk about it. But your whole way of like winning this is exploiting the dumb AI. This is a game where to win, you essentially have to play in a way that doesn't make sense for a strategy game. I'm gonna walk up to the enemy and like have him grab an item, then kind of like lure him back to my base or whatever, or have the other ants. Or you use you have to lean into the jank. This game, to win, you literally are supposed to cheese every level. That's how you're supposed to play this game. I can't give this an F because I think that what it's making fun of, because in the Miasma Tower lore, Mr. Nemuru, there is essentially someone who had a bunch of money and ended up buying LX Soft and it made it UFO Soft. And this was like their idea for a game. This dude who came in and know nothing about gaming, but he had money. This was their idea for a game. and it's shitty and it's jank and it's slow and you have to like cheat to win. And that's kind of funny to me. This game exists just to be like, here's this in-game character that fucking sucks. This is the game they made. Highly innovative strategy game. It's jank, it's dumb, and I hate it. But man, just the fact that they gave us a joke mean game, and I honestly, I did enjoy it a little bit. I liked it more than Porgy. I liked it more than Zoldath, and I liked it more than Bushido Ball. Rad Cousin with the year.
Cherry painted boys.
Cherry painted boys. Rad Cousin, so good to see you. Happy New Year. I feel like it's been a year since I last seen you. They made the description that because you know he's walking around the office saying it. 100%. Now for a game that I'm surprised. This seems like a controversial game for some reason. It's simple. It's dumb. Oh yeah, I didn't even get close to like, I was completely wrong. Trip got a way higher score on this. If you're here, Brad. People got quibbles with Quibble racing. You pick your racer, and then you gamble. And, all right, so wild card, we got your odds, 1-to-1 chance to win, 3-to-1, 8-to-1. The higher the odds, the more you make if you actually win. I'm voting on Bossimo, and I am going to give him drugs to increase his likelihood of winning, and I'm going all in. And I'm also gonna sponsor. We're gonna sponsor Rudolph because it's just got Christmas time, and I'm also gonna give him some training so whenever he does come up, he wins. So Bossimo looks larger today. Say new diet. Hit the drugging. So let's see if Bossimo. Someone else bet on Bossimo. Wait a second. Is that a Quibble in disguise? We got a Quibble in disguise betting. I never realized that's funny. All right, wild card 1. I just lost all my money. There's, yo, thank you for the 39 months. That's almost a week of sub.
39 months. Almost 2 years.
So this is like one of those old school, like, I don't know, like Flash games. It's simple. You'd play a game like this on Newgrounds. In fact, I think the original version of this game was on Newgrounds. It's simple. It's silly. You could pay to have one of the Quibbles hit with a spiked bat, or we could poison them. We're gonna poison. We're gonna Black Eye. We're gonna poison Black Eye. And we're gonna go all in on Rudolph, who I'm sponsoring, and we're gonna give him some more training. German with the 46 months, 2 months till 4 years. That's almost 2 weeks. Holy crap. All right, Black Eye's limping. Everyone voted on Rudolph. That's mine. You can't do this. I can't believe this. You go for the hype train. It's just gambling silliness, and it is so much fun. I love Quibble races. It's goofy, it's silly. It's also a nothing burger game in a way. Like, this is the whole game. This is all there is. But you know what? That's all there needs to be. There's, thank you for the 100 biddies. There's, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for the hype train. I'm putting this actually pretty high in the list though, because it's just pure fun. Higher than Devolition, but it's still A. Cherry is getting a certain score, and getting the cherry on it. I mean, I cherried it my first time too. It's another one of those games to where like getting the cherry for it usually happens if you win. For most people I've seen a few people say they didn't get the cherry right away, but almost everyone I know got the cherry on the first try. It's a good nothing burger. It's there's nothing healthy about it, but it's a good time. Final 3 games. Seaside Drive. Holy crap, Seaside. Seaside Drive. 3 S tiers left. So this is a game, it's a shmuppy. You charge up your shots by going left on the screen. So like, just, it's kind of, this hits every positive spot in my ADHD brain. Like, I'm constantly wiggling around, and it benefits you to constantly wiggle around. It's got the shmuppy goodness. You got the way you angle it. This is actually one of the games that I prefer playing with an analog stick instead of the D-pad, because it feels more arcadey and good. If you want to shoot on the ground, you use the A button instead of X. You got left and right, and once again, you wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, and it feels good. And this is another shmuppy where, like, to get the cherry, it's all about the score. And to get the score that you really want to have, you pretty much want to do every level without dying. Because when you beat the level without dying, you get a little bonus stage, and that's where you get the points you need to really get the cherry. It kind of looks like we're firing ice cream now you say that. I never saw it before, but it's like little laser balls. And there's like a little flame behind it. Momentum ball, like momentum or whatever. The motion blur of the fireball, I guess. I wish Seaside Drive was longer as well. That's like my only complaint. The music is amazing. The later levels actually get a little weird. And failing the bonus stage, I never have. I imagine it hurts failing the bonus stage. I'm glad I don't know that pain. But nothing but pure fun. Amazing music. I love the colors. I love the gameplay. It just feels so freaking good. That's Campanella 3. Right behind Star Wasper. Right behind Star Wasper. So freaking good. So good. Campanella 3. The closest game to like an on-rails shooter, I guess. If like it's like a interesting shooter game. Oh, fix the overlay here. So you got like these things on the side kind of letting you know where you are. Like this is like a 2D game that does a really good job of feeling like, I don't know, it's like the conveyance of your location on the screen. Not only like you got the top right corner helping you even more. Like this game does an excellent job of letting you feel like you know where you are. It's Space Harrier with proper conveyance. It is so rare to get hit by something because like, oh, I couldn't tell where I was, even though this looks like it's like, I don't know, you know where you are, you know where you're shooting, you know what you're doing. This game does amazing, and I can't believe how brilliant this is. Like this is such a great idea for a 2D shooter. Getting the process of the bit to the programmers, managing to get this to run on the LX3. Oh my God, art man, amazing. You can use excuses if you want, but it'll fall on, for me, it'll fall on deaf ears. I'm not listening to your excuses. This game is just hard, and eventually you'll get it. Getting past stage 4 is hard. I believe you'll get past it. It's hard. This game is really, really hard. It took me a while to get it too. But it's super fun. Once again, great music. I really do feel like every game on the last 2 rows in the list are phenomenal, except when they're intentionally bad. Except for like a Hyper Contender. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Hyper Contender and Overbold being great games that I'm still kind of like, whatever. 2.5D shooter. That's a good way to put it. Campanella 3, fantastic. But also kind of like, I don't know. It's not S tier for me. It's not S tier for me. But it is #1 in the A list for me. Freaking fantastic. The conveyance of it for a shooter, as you can tell, I like shooter games. I love fast-paced shooter games. Just phenomenal. But once again, not S tier for me. I know it's weird. It's weird to finally have a really good game not on S tier, considering what's in the S tier. But like, there's just something about it that, besides the presentation, it's pretty simple, and it kind of ends there. You don't get like any power-ups or anything like that. You just learn it, and that's it. I want to play through all the Toho games at some point. I definitely will be putting this on YouTube. I need to edit it first. I'm gonna be doing that tonight when all the snowy madness comes in. And now we got the game that was our final cherry. The final cherry, Cyber Owls. The game that is literally 4 games in one in itself. In a game in UFO 50, we already have 50 games, and we got a game that is 4 different games depending on what you play. We got the Metal Gear Solid like character. We got the character that's like not Wild Guns. I keep forgetting the name of it. The Western third person like shooter thing. Is it Wild Guns? It got like a little rescue minigame puzzle game as well. And so it's technically 5 games that run. We never get to see the rescue minigame often because of Cherry. Wild Guns and Cabal and with this character. Then we get like the Turbo Tunnel with shooting in this character, but way easier Turbo Tunnel. And then we got like the equivalent of kind of like the side-scrolling sections of Double Dragon. The Cherry took me like 10 hours to do. I think we have 15 total hours on this game. We'll have to go check after this. But man, the music, the action, holy crap. This is the second, I would say I still think Campanella 2 was the hardest Cherry to get. I think this is the second hardest. Yeah, the terminal minigame, yep. Cyber Owls, just my god, I love Cyber Owls, and we gotta pull it up. We gotta see the Metal Gear Solid. I gotta see it again. Mission start. We got the Metal Gear Solid like character here, sneaking past, putting people to sleep, or just outright will just murder everyone. It's funny, I like almost never go to this room over here now. Oh man. God, Cyber Owls. Voice clips took 25% of the memory of Cyber Owls. 100 levels will let me out. Maybe I will at some point. Mission start. I am just so satisfying, right? Like the music is super good. I actually am going to make a cover of this song here. Just my god, this is just so satisfying. It feels so good to play. Every character except this one, freaking Huxley. Huxley is my least favorite. It's still fun, but this is like my least favorite. Huxley's levels are sad. Even though I love Kappas, I love the little Kappa character or the little turtle. I don't really care too much about her stages. The missile or that one. I will say though, like I don't think, I still loved getting the cherry, but I didn't love getting the cherry in this as much as I did in Campanella 2. Mission start. I just want to show off like the 4 main gameplay things here. You know what? Let's pull up the rescue for this as well, just to show it off real quick. Hardest cherry for me is Campanella 2. Oh, I have to die a lot, don't I? I probably should have had Quinn get kidnapped so we can have like the little extra rescue mission.
Mission failed.
All right, so we're gonna go. We gotta go rescue her. So we got this little like puzzle-like thing. You see me, and are you gonna come up here? No, I don't know how I'm gonna win this. Oh, this is actually super easy. Never mind. That was the stupidest. That was the stupidest puzzle of all. What the heck? All right. I have never seen that be so easy. All right, instant F tier. All right, but no, like Cyber Owl, amazing journey. Second hardest cherry of them all. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. Easiest puzzle in the world. My brain is dumb. And there we have it. Top 3. Yo, I gotta do top 5 just so I can include Party House. I feel wrong. It feels wrong not having Party House number 1, but Grimstone, Campanella 2, Cyber Owls, Party House, and Avianos are my favorite games of UFO 50. We're gonna look at all the unlocks here. We got all of our beautiful trophies. This is the all cherry background. Let's sort by what took most played. Yeah, so most played Grimstone, Rock on Island, Cyber Owls, and then Campanella 2. Then Star Wasper. Look at this little trash game at the bottom, least played Big Bell Race. Get out of here, Big Bell Race.
A huge thank you to Kavanli of the $20 Club, to Expert, James, Drossi, and Wizzyless of the $10 Club, and to everyone who supports on Patreon. I also want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.